Shalom, Israel. This is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the mighty Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the Israelite School Houston Thursday class. Today we're going to get into what we call, you know what I'm saying, no excuses. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We're gonna get rid of an excuse, you know what I'm saying, that the Christian church and the Christian pastors teach us about, you know what I'm saying, being perfect. So that's going to be the lesson, perfection. Throughout the Bible, man, you know, a lot of Christian pastors or a lot of people say that Salaki, you know, that that nobody's perfect. So, you know, they use that excuse to, you know, to continue to sin or not even try to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So what we're gonna do, you know, I'm Officer Rum, and then beside me is Officer Mahal Gabar, man. We're gonna get into some scriptures to show y'all that, you know what I'm saying, that the example that we had, which was Christ, was perfect, and then we also can be perfect. You got something to say?
Now you gotta start.
All right, we're gonna go. I'm gonna start off with.
I'll go ahead and read for you.
All right, Genesis 17:1. I'm gonna show y'all that not only was Christ perfect, but other men in the Bible was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like we're definitely gonna get rid of the excuse of saying that nobody's perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read, go ahead.
This is Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the mighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Be thou what?
Be thou perfect.
Be thou perfect. But you know, I thought after Adam, nobody was perfect. Because you know, Adam sinned, and so we all born into sin and we can't achieve perfection. But what did it say again?
Be thou perfect.
Be thou perfect. This is Abram, man. This is before he was called, before the Lord changed his name to Abraham, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is telling him to be thou perfect. That means to follow everything that the Most High says to do. You know what I'm saying? Give me Luke 6:40. You know what I'm saying? We got you know, we got a rank and an order. You know what I'm saying? If we follow that rank and we follow that order, man, we achieve perfection. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? When if your dad was an architect or your dad was a basketball player, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he done, his son is going to strive to be just like his father or even better. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if your dad was LeBron James or Michael Jordan or something like that, you as a son were going to try to be just like your father, even better.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So with that being said is you're gonna follow everything that your father did, man. And you're gonna be perfect in doing it. Read that for me.
This is Luke chapter 6, verse 40. The disciples is not above his master.
The disciples are not above the master. Like we're not above the master, which is Christ. You know what I'm saying? We're not above him, but go ahead.
But everyone that is perfect shall be as his master.
So everybody that's perfect should be as his master. Like I said, you're gonna be just like your father or just like your master. You know what I'm saying? Christ was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? And we are his children. You know what I'm saying? We are the Most High's children, man. Get 1 Corinthians 11:3. You know what I'm saying? Like we are under Christ. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is the head of man. You know what I'm saying? We're about to show you that right now. You got it?
1 Corinthians
11:3. Go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of every man is Christ. Now we're establishing rank and order. Go ahead.
And the head of every woman is man.
Right.
And the head of Christ is God.
So the Most High is over Christ. Christ is over man. Man is over the woman. That is rank and order. You know what I'm saying? So if if Christ followed the Most High to perfection, man has to follow Christ. Salakia. If Christ followed the Most High to perfection, man has to follow Christ to perfection. You know what I'm saying? And then the woman follows man to perfection. You know what I'm saying? That's how we achieve perfection, man. That's how we follow what's given to us, man.
And if I may add, sir, you know, it's a perfect order. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
The reason why these things been put in order so that we could be perfect. I mean, even when you look at the way the Christian church is today, you know, that they like to say that you can't be perfect. That's only because they want to continue sinning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. They want to continue like that's why they try to say, well, we fall short of the glory of God. Right. You know what I'm saying? That just leave them room to keep doing what it is that they want to keep doing, and that's not following the law, statutes, and commandments, which is that perfection that the Most High given us through Christ. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why Christ came back, was to show you how to do the law. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Christ didn't follow nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Christ followed the same thing that we supposed to been doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Christ followed everything in the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to say, give me Ephesians 6:5. A lot of people like to say, well, you know, the Old Testament is over and done with because Christ came. But when Christ came, like, what did he do? What did he live? He did not do his own thing while he was on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what did he follow? He followed the old laws, statutes, and commandments. Matthew 5:18 says that he came not to destroy the law or the prophets. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't come to erase anything that them brothers did. You know what I'm saying? He came to fulfill it. He 6 and 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show you a scripture that was taught to us throughout history, man, that kind of bamboozled us, that tricked us. You know what I'm saying? It tricked us into the Stockholm syndrome that we in, man, because it was misinterpreted to us. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters.
Stop. It says, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters. You know what I'm saying? You know, back in the slavery days, like they used to wave that scripture over everybody's head. See, look, see this here? This is your Bible. These are your laws. It says, obey your master. I am your master. I'm Jim Bob, and you're supposed to obey me now.
Right.
It says it right here. I know y'all use a spiritual niggers. You're supposed to obey, so you're supposed to obey me now, right? Okay, that's what this said. They used to wave that over our heads and to keep our people down, to keep them confused. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
According to the flesh.
According to the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Our master, according to the flesh, is Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like our master, that's our teacher. You know what I'm saying? So we're supposed to obey the master. You know what I'm saying? The master says, the teacher says, Christ says that we're supposed to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man. That's what he came down here and did. He lived by those things. You know what I'm saying? Colossians 3:22. This is pretty much gonna say the same thing, man. But like these scriptures are the ones that, you know what I'm saying? Like when a lot of people like to say, well, this is a slave Bible. You know, they gave us a slave Bible. That's why this is the white man's book. You know what I'm saying? Because it says, you know, obey your master. You know what I'm saying? So you consider the white man your master, but you don't consider Christ your master. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you love the white man because what you do now is give excuses to the white man now.
And we know Christ was perfect.
Right.
We know Christ was perfect in anything that he did. And matter of fact, like say Yahawashi, Salakia, you know, we knew that he was perfect in everything that he did, the way he walked, the way he taught, everything that he did was done to perfection. You know what I'm saying? That was the most disciplined man on the world. And if you want to really learn perfection, learn discipline. You understand?
Right.
And when you learn that discipline, you'll be perfect. That's the way. That's the only way we strive the way that we do in the Israelite school of UPK, because that one body, that one faith, that one baptism, that allows us to be perfect.
Right.
Yeah, we got problems. We all go through something. You know what I'm saying? But because this brotherhood is so intact, because this school under Commander General YAHANNA is so intact and is so perfect from following these laws, statutes, and commandments, that through Christ, through him, they set forth in this school, we are perfect. And that's why when you look at all these other groups out there, you know, they got all kind of chaos going on inside of their organization and everything, but you don't never hear about us. Because why? Our perfection stands because we all in here follow Christ. You understand? That's all I want to add out of one.
And what you said was like spot on, real heavy, man. Like we follow the law, statutes, commandments of this Bible. We follow the rank and order. You know what I'm saying? Christ, the Most High dealt with one man on the earth at a time. You know what I'm saying? And at this time right now that we live in, that's Commanding General YAHANNA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's the leader of the nation. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not getting down with what we're saying and what he's saying, you know what I'm saying, you are against the Most High. Let me get Hebrews 5 and 9. You know what I'm saying? Like Christ didn't come down here to give us an excuse, you know what I'm saying, on why we can't. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, like you give it an excuse to keep on sinning. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy for you to say, oh, we're not perfect, so you can continue to eat shrimp, crab, pork, frog legs. You know what I'm saying? It's an excuse for you to, you know what I'm saying, sleep with other men's wives or sleep with other women's husbands. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your excuse. Oh, we not perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's all a Christian needs to read in the Bible somewhere. And I don't even think they read it nowhere. You know what I'm saying? They just, oh, we not perfect. Of course we're not perfect, but you can be perfect. You know what I'm saying? If you turn away from your sins and follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Read that for me.
But Slack, if I may add. But see, out here in the world, you know what I'm saying, you got, you know, this Christianity, this drug called Christianity. You understand? Right. It allows you to keep yourself from being imperfect under the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Under Christ. You know what I mean? Because this world that the white man has inhabited, it's in opposition to everything that this book is about. Right. That Christ came to wake his people up out of that madness. That's what the white man pushed. That's what Satan pushed throughout the whole earth. And it keeps you from gaining that perfection, you know. But that's the reason why Christ came, and that's why he's the perfect high priest. You know what I'm saying? Like in the scriptures it say, you know what I'm saying, that he's the mediator. You know what I'm saying? Because we chose and keep choosing to do what it is that we want to do or what we see fit. We don't look at how the Lord tell us to be. So when we out here getting killed and getting incarcerated and going through all type of hell and poverty, you know, we only got, really, if you look at it, yeah, we got the white man to blame, but we also got to take some type of accountability for that too. You know what I'm saying? We stopping our own perfection from happening. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to follow after the white man and after these other nations, which is the whole reason why Christ had to come and show us how to be perfect. Right. You know what I mean? He had to come to show us just how to be perfect. Right. How to do this thing the correct way so that we can get what was promised to us back in the Old Testament, as you brought up with Abraham, that covenant. You know what I'm saying? How we can come back to that and get that. Right. You understand? So that's all I want to add. So. Man, you dropping heavy bombs like throughout the whole thing. But just read that for me. This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 8. Yeah, start at 8. But that which beareth thorns and bears Salaki, Hebrews 5 and 8. Salaki, my page over. Oh no, I was right. Hebrews chapter 5, verse 8. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. It says, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. You know what I'm saying? You know, son is capitalized. It's talking about Christ. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, he was the son of the Most High, but he learned obedience, you know what I'm saying, through the sufferings that he went through, man. And I'm not talking about, you know, the suffering of it when he died. I'm talking about before he died. I mean, he suffered the same things that we go through. You know what I'm saying? He suffered temptation. He suffered persecution. He suffered everything that, you know what I'm saying? He suffered people ridiculing him, talking down on him, like trying to go against him, trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went through all that, man. And he still
followed the laws, man. And then he gave his life for that. You know what I'm saying?
And
Keep
if
reading.
I may add,
Go ahead.
if I may add, like, and to precept that, you know, you can go to Matthew's just to show you that, you know, as great as Yahushua was and still is, he had his moment too. You know what I'm saying? And this shows you where you can be perfect at. Oh, Salaki, go ahead, sir.
Which one, Matthew?
Matthew's 26 and 39.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh, my Father."
Stop right there. Like this right here, this is during the time where Christ is getting ready to basically be apprehended by, you know, the Pharisees and Sadducees, and they getting ready to jail him, you know, imprison him, and you know, he knows what's getting ready to happen. And although, you know what I'm saying, he knew that he was getting ready to go and be in prison and all of these things and this suffering, as Officer Ron was speaking on, that this was about to happen to him. But you know, he was a man. He was the great man, the greatest man, the greatest black man on the planet. But he still had a moment, and in that moment, he to me, he showed you his perfection. Keep reading.
Come, oh my Father, if it be possible.
If it be what?
If it be possible.
If it be what?
If it be possible. Let this cup pass from me.
Why did Christ say that? Because, you know, he didn't really want to. He didn't want to go through all this suffering that he was getting ready to go through. You know what I'm saying? If it was possible, Lord, Father, you know what I'm saying? Abba, please, you know, Baba Kashar, you know, let this thing pass. But go ahead.
Nevertheless, not as I will.
Not as who?
Not as I will.
Keep going.
But as thou wilt.
But as thou wilt. Christ, like, you can't get no more perfect than that. It wasn't about what he wanted to do. You know, he wanted to, hey, if it was possible, if there's any kind of way I can get out of this, please open that way up so I can, you know, I don't want to have to suffer this. But at the same time, Father, you know, let your will be done and not mine. And he went through it. And that's about as perfect as you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it, sir.
And man, that's a perfect precept and a segue into verse 9, man. Like, that's what it is. Read that for me.
Hebrews?
Yeah.
Hebrews starting chapter
5 and
chapter 5, verse 9. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him, Salaki.
And being made perfect, like when he died, he was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like he finished flawless. You know what I'm saying? He became the author of eternal salvation. So that means if you turn away from your sins and continue to live perfect throughout the rest of your life, you would obtain the eternal salvation that Christ died for. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you really can't use that excuse on we can't be perfect.
And
you know what I'm saying?
If I may, and he showed you all the way up to his death, you know, how you can live and how you can be perfect. Like these, and the reason why we keep bringing up the law is because that's how you be perfect. That's how you show thyself approved. You know what I mean? That's how doing these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you obtain that type of perfection. And inside this brotherhood, you got the help. Like it's not. I mean, I know we've been programmed and brainwashed to think that, you know, we can't do this. I mean, and it's certain laws you can't do in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because we living in captivity and we living under another rulership. We can't just go out if the child, like for instance in the Old Testament, if the child is bad and no one can deal with him, the father can't deal with him, the mother can't deal with him, they'll take him to the priest. And if the priest couldn't deal with him, they'll take him out and stone him and kill him in the field. Can't do that in America. You understand? But you can, you know, not sleep with another man's wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can, you know what I'm saying, pay your tithes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not to these churches either. You can not be a drug dealer, not be a whore, anything like that. So by keeping those things, those laws, that's perfection right there. You understand? That is much perfection right there. And Christ showed you that you can do all these things all the way up until his death. all the way up until his death. You know, I would rather take a death like that than to die, you know, at the hands of anybody else like out there. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather die for this truth than to be getting slain and executed and murdered out here in the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would rather die perfect than to die the way some of our brothers and sisters in this world is dying today. You understand?
Right.
That's what I want to say.
Exactly. Give me Romans 12:9. And this also shows that Christ was a man just like me and this brother right here. Like he wasn't no superhuman, like he wasn't no demigod or anything. Like he came in the flesh just like us. You know what I'm saying? So his example was perfect. So that means we can achieve that. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince Carter can dunk the ball greater than any man on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know what I'm saying? So I can have, so I should have the excuse, well, I can't dunk the ball like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm big. I can't dunk the ball like that. But if I was to follow Vince Carter's regiment, you know, on what he do, maybe I could. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at Vince Carter doing this because they call him Vince Sanity. You know what I'm saying?
If I may, sir,
go ahead.
Just to add on to it, you know, you might can't dunk the ball like Vince Carter, but you can help him train.
Right.
You see how that intertwines together. You helping him be perfect.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's the Israelite school of UPK, because we sharpen each other up in here. We you know, like the scripture say, iron sharpen iron.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how we obtain our perfection up in here, because we make sure that each and every brother in here is doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Right. And living accordingly. And then in here we want to.
Right.
We want to. We want it. We got the zeal, and we do the work to obtain that, because you know we are fighting after the same thing Christ was fighting after. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say. So.
Right, because like that like between me and Vince Carter, like that's discouraging. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm relating Vince Carter as that superhuman or that demigod that people portray Christ as. But if I see somebody my size go outside or go to the court and dunk a ball, then I might like, well, hey, maybe I can dunk a ball because he's just as big as me and he's up there dunking a ball. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of I'm not gonna say hope, but that's the type of example Christ is. Like he's a man, he's a human just like us.
Right.
Like he didn't have no, like he said himself, like it's no one good but the Most High, but the Father.
Right.
Like so he's not equal to the Father at all. Like we just read, he said, "Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me." If you was equal to God, you would check yourself up out of that persecution and that torture and that death. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to sit here and just kill themselves like that.
Nobody. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Read Romans 12:9 for me.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 9. Let love be without this. What was that? This dissimulation, arbor that which is that.
Not Romans 12:9. Give me 1 second.
But this thing is possible, though. You know what I'm saying? Like and tonight, you know what I'm saying? We trying to show you exactly what perfection is in the scriptures, because you know you're gonna need that. That's the only way we're gonna get up out of this hell. We're gonna have to be united. We're gonna have to be perfect. You understand? We're gonna have to be perfect, not in this just to the world. Like the scriptures say, like you let your light. You don't put your light under the bed. You put it in the windowsill for everyone to see. So and that in return gonna bring brothers in, that people gonna take notice to. Okay, man, that brother, every time I see that brother, every time I see that sister, they always a certain way. That's the way they look at us now. Whether it's the police, whether it's whoever it is. Like we can get pulled over right now by the laws, and they'll be like, "No, let that brother go. Let that brother go." Just because they see the garments we wear, just because you know, they see the headbands and the greaves and everything that we wear and the way that we are, and they know us from downtown. They see us and know we not criminals. We not out there committing crimes and doing anything that would cause them to have to deal with us like that. You know what I'm saying? We protected by the Most High. Why? Because we are perfect in here.
Right.
I can't speak of what goes on out there, but in here we are perfect. You understand? I just want to
that. And you know, to piggyback off what you're
Go
saying,
ahead,
man, like earlier today I had I caught a flat. You know, I'm way out damn near by Galveston. So you know, I pulled up into this mechanic shop. It wasn't a tire shop, but it was a mechanic shop.
Right.
So I asked him if they had any tires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The owner, you know, he looked like he could have been an Ammonite or something like that, you know, East Indian or something
Elam
like that.
or something, right.
Elamite.
Right.
You know, he tries to sell me this tire. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, you know, I have an SUV.
Right.
So he put this tire on like that was like a car tire. Like, so like I had the little bitty wheel, but the rest of my, you know, wheels are like truck wheels.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he had an employee, Isupk brother, you know what I'm saying, working for him. And so he, you know, the Most High had to send him because I think he was on his lunch break or something. And like right when the dude put the tile, he was like, hey, boss. No, we got a tile big enough, you know, back here. And he's like, no, it's too late. It's okay. I already put it on. You know, I'm going to go ahead and charge him. And so he was like, nah. You know, we got a tile back here. So at this moment, I'm like, man. So I go to this guy like, man, let me see the tire that you're talking about. And it was a tire big enough to fit my truck. But you know what I'm saying? This and he must have saw the light on me. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, anybody else would have just stood by and just, hey man, that's the boss, man. Like, go on selling whatever you're gonna sell it. But the Most High put it in his heart, man, to look out for me, man.
Right. They can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like they see it, and before they even know what they doing, they already doing the bidding of the Lord. And you know, and that's just keeping yourself in line. That's from following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's being perfected. That's being perfection inside of yourself, in your spirit, in your walk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, not just being in this body, but we do this outside of it too. When we at our slaveries, or we with family or whatever element we are around, we are always in that same mindset, as if, I mean, like in the school, like I've heard General Muhammad say a couple times, and I've heard a few other captains as well say the same thing. Like when Commanding General YAHANNA is not around and it's General Muhammad, like when you see General Muhammad, you see Commanding General YAHANNA.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you see Captain Tazariak or Captain Mawaquad or anyone, you seeing General Muhammad. You understand that? Like that. It don't get no more perfect than that. That's a complete order. You know what I'm saying? To even view yourself in that. And so when you out there, I mean, I've had that situation happen a few times already here recently, where things just started just coming my way, and I don't even know where it was coming from, but it was all good.
Right.
It was all, and it was just staying in line with these laws, statutes, and commandments. Like that type of perfection is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to worry about the things that they are worried about out there. Out there right now, they scared.
Right.
You know, they looking for the pastors and all of these things. And I'm not trying to sidebar, but I'm just saying, like, they looking for the pastor. They looking for, you know, an answer to what's happening out here, and they not getting it. Why? Because we know that the Christian church is the house of Satan. There's nothing perfect about that. That place is the most wicked place on planet Earth.
Right.
So they don't have, you know what I'm saying, what we have. That's why we out there trying to be that light to them and showing them how perfect they can be.
Right.
You understand? I just want to say that. Sorry.
Right. And all these people that say you can't be perfect, they panicking now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had people get mad at me, you know what I'm saying? Because I tell them I follow every law, statute, and commandment in the Bible. Oh, so you think you perfect? I say, you damn right.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't be nobody that's holier than thou. I say, well, the Bible says, you know, for us to follow every law, statute, and commandment. You know what I'm saying? That is the whole duty of man. You know what I'm saying? To just to be obedient. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's Romans 12:2.
I read the wrong scripture.
Yeah, 12:2.
It's Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
The renewing of your mind. So don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you have to renew your mind. Like your mind is so muddy and so clouded right now to where you think you serving the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You think you're doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? Like in the I.S.U.P.K in this building, like we have no fear of what's going on outside these walls. You know what I'm saying? Because we understand and we know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? We know we living right. So those things are not coming for us. They's coming for those people that's continue to say we not perfect. So I'm gonna still get this crawfish basket. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or I'm gonna still go to such and such house and we gonna have a a good time. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
And perfect will of God, man. So renewing your mind and understanding that you have to follow everything and not selective things that you just don't that you feel comfortable on following, but everything, you know what I'm saying, to execute that perfect will of God, man.
Right. Like, and if I may, you don't have to worry about. That's what we get caught up in. We so focused on what's going out there in the world and what the world think. We, you know what I'm saying, we'll sell ourselves short. We'll sell out. You know what I'm saying? We'll totally sell ourselves out because we care what's going on out there in the world. We more focused on that than what we should be doing. We should be doing what the Lord's will. You know what I'm saying? If I'm saying that right, you know what I mean? We should be more focused on his will and what it is that he wants us to do than what this person at your job or this person that you may seem cool with or whatever, what they want you to do. Like and because we focus on that, we do conform ourselves to this world. We will abide in what it is that they want. You know what I'm saying? Before we go and ask ourselves, well, what is it that the Most High is asking me to do?
Right.
What do he want from me? You know what I mean? Like we won't even really pick up the book. You know what I'm saying? But if Tom, Dick, and Harry out there, whoever, Sally or any one of them say anything, you care about what it is that they want. You know what I'm saying? And so you do have to transform your mind. And how do you transform your mind? By getting into these scriptures, you know what I'm saying? By coming to class, by finding out, you know what I'm saying, how to be perfect.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
And separating yourself from this place, man.
Right.
Because, you can't sit here and tell me that you've ever read about an Easter bunny in the Bible or Santa Claus in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Too, you can't sit there and tell me you read that. It's nowhere in there. I bet a lot of y'all getting y'all barbecue pits ready now, for the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's America's freedom. That ain't Israel's freedom. That ain't the nation of Israel's freedom. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna help them celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? Because, as a nation, we conform to this world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we celebrate everything that this world celebrated. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day and don't even know what it means. We just put on green and pink people that don't.
And we think it's good.
Oh, but it's an excuse to drink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's an excuse to drink. So yeah, you got your little green bucket hat or whatever they call them hats, and you at work, your whole office or your whole desk full of green, and the real Irishman walking around looking at you like, you dumb nigga.
Right.
You don't know what you're celebrating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we got all this stuff coming up, all these holidays. We got Juneteenth coming up. And the most devastating one. Well, it ain't the most devastating to me. It is though the 4th of July, because I don't understand with all that's happening in the world how any Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian gonna celebrate the 4th of July, go out there and pop them fireworks on the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? just following after this world, being conformed to it. You know what I'm saying? They just go out there and do it, not even understanding that you was in bondage in 1776, July 4th. You understand?
Right. You was on the front line being a barricade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bullets hit you first. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Meanwhile, they you talking about that incident with the sister that got hit with the tear gas?
Right.
Me and Captain shout out to Captain Yagarwa. We was talking about that on the phone today. I heard he was telling me the sister, like he said, the white people was like standing behind all the black people, and they the ones actually was throwing rocks or whatever they was throwing.
Right.
And the first thing they do, the laws, they start shooting off into the crowd. The first person they hit in the head with the canister of tear gas split. From what I heard, from what Captain Yagarwa was telling me, the tear gas split her head real severely.
Right.
You know, and I'm
so that mean they out there taking headshots.
Headshots.
You know what I'm saying? Like they not aiming for your body or your leg or nothing, man. They trying to take you out in the name of security.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That ain't perfect. That ain't perfection right there. That is lunatic-ish. You know, if that's a word. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I have a precept for that too, especially what you was touching on when you were saying that about being good. So it's Proverbs 14 and 12. You know, I'll go ahead and read it, sir. It's too hard. This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, which, like I was saying earlier, you know, you go to church, you know, you be on your Sunday's best, or you be so polite and humble, you know what I'm saying? You think because, you know, you seen a brother standing on the corner, you might have gave him $5 for the year. You know, that's last time you helped anybody else, you know what I mean? That, you know what I'm saying, you just doing something that's good. You feel good about yourself for the moment. You know, you go to church, you know what I'm saying? You just talk politely and all of these things here, and inside you want to say, you know, I'm a good person. Yeah, you may think what you're doing is good, but Salakia. But as it say, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Take this riding, for instance. You know, you out there, you think you marching for a cause. You think it's something good in that. You know, you got some white people out there riding with you, really setting you up, because soon as everything start hitting the fan, they gonna stand down and back up out of it. And meanwhile, you're gonna catch all the heat. You're gonna catch all the heat. So you out there marching and protesting and hands up, don't shoot, and no justice, no peace. Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying, and you in your heart, which is in your mind, you think that you are doing the right thing, but really that's the very thing that's gonna get you killed.
Right.
You understand, especially when you're dealing with this devil here.
Right.
You know, because they show no remorse. They are genocidal maniacs.
Right. They putting slabs of bricks in your neighborhood so you can go tear your own stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me Matthew 5:48. I'm gonna show y'all in the New Testament where, you know what I'm saying, like what Christ is saying, you can be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's doable. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing that's far-fetched.
Matthew 5:6.
5:48. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says that you follow all the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And the commandments are not grievous. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just your choice that you want to continue to eat. You know, pork, crab, shrimp, dog, lobster, bats. You know what I'm saying? That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? Like we show people all the time the laws in Leviticus, and they read them for themselves. They read them out loud.
Right.
Well, the Lord know my heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's another excuse. Well, your heart is wicked in all its ways, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm sitting up here showing you what the law says, but you say, well, Christ died for our sins, but he didn't die for you to continue to sin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why you got to kill that flesh daily.
Right.
Every day you wake up, every night you can go to sleep, the Lord willing, you know, Lord allow. You got to kill your flesh daily, because your flesh, it wants to sin. Like this right here, this meat, It
Right.
wants to do everything against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, hey, he set it forth, but at the end of the day, it's still up to you. You got to kill this flesh daily. That's the only way that, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be able to even get on the path to even do, not do, but even hear the law first to even do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, if you can't hear the law, the law being taught to you or anything, how you gonna be able to do it? You know what I'm saying? So you have to really just kill that flesh daily. That's the only way that you're gonna be able to actually get on that avenue, get on that path to just being, you know, saying perfect in the eyes of the Lord.
Right.
So Matthew, that's 5. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye what?
Therefore perfect.
Unperfect.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
What color are those words?
They in red, sir.
They in red, so everybody know what that means, right? If they were written in red, that means Christ, YAHANNA, said these things. So if you believe in Christ, you should believe his words, right?
That's
so
right,
he say,
damn
be ye
right.
perfect. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and have no excuse when Christ is telling you to be ye perfect, just like your Father in heaven is perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Which cuts them, Salaki, sir. Which cuts that whole what you said earlier about how the Christian church be saying that we can't do it. Then if you can't be perfect, then why is Christ telling you right here in verse 48 to be perfect?
Right.
Is Christ a liar? I don't think Yahweh is a liar. You understand? So I just want to add that, sir.
Right. So it's saying that be ye perfect just as well as your Father is in heaven is perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's back to that rank and order. You know what I'm saying? You be perfect just like your Father. He's perfect like his Father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, we have the same heavenly Father, right?
Right.
So if Christ can be perfect to his Father, we can be perfect to our Father. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 61, and it says, "Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God." Your heart means your mind. Let your mind be perfect. And your mind can only be perfect. It only be clear if you follow in the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying? You will have no reserve, no guilt. You know what I'm saying? If you're following everything that the Lord God told us to do.
Always have your mind on the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Always have your mind on things that are heavenly. So like,
right. I'm gonna keep reading.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna start from the top. It says, "Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day." You know what I'm saying? Like, until this is in the Old Testament, but we read it in the Old Testament and the New Testament,
right,
that you can achieve perfection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By walking in his statutes and his commandments, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no freestyling, ain't no taking out this law because you don't feel comfortable with it or you don't feel like that you can achieve it. You know what I'm saying? That is wickedness when you choose not to do something. When your parents tell you to do something and you blatantly tell them no, what you think gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get beat. You're gonna get disciplined in some way. You know what I'm saying? So when we read these laws and we tell you to follow these laws, statutes, commandments, and you blatantly telling us no, and we don't know what we're talking about, you're not telling that to us. You're telling that to the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
They don't understand the scriptures, nor do they know it. They teach it the way that it's been given to them from the white man. You have to, if you want to learn these scriptures and understand what it means to be perfect, man, come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Right. That's the best thing I could tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because here you can get taught properly and understand the scriptures to know what it means to be perfect. They look at being perfect as like it's some unreachable goal. And It's not. It's just simple as not eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Shrimp, crab, or lobster. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to be a brother, learning how to be a sister. You know what I'm saying? Just being obedient, disciplining yourself. And those are small. The words are strong, but it's really small time stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard at all. It's only because you don't want to be perfect. You know what I
Right.
mean? And these pastors, anybody that's telling you not to keep the law, you know what I'm saying? They obviously don't know the Lord.
Yeah, they keep telling you that you can't be perfect because it keeps you sowing seeds. It keeps you giving money to them because for your sins. Well, okay, well, you like smoking, or you like doing this, just sow a seed and pray about it.
They whores. They
You know what I'm saying?
they
Like,
whores. They
that's all they do is tell you to sow seeds and pray about it. They not praying about it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna tell you they gonna pray for you, but they ain't gonna go in the back and count your money and go out the back door and get in their bins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They cater to they cater to what your lust is. They not trying to teach you these laws, statutes, and commandments. They're not trying to break these scriptures down. Only thing that these pastors doing is they just here to cater to your lust. Whatever your lust is, a pastor, a bishop, evangelist, whatever title they calling themselves, they will cater to your lust. You know what I'm saying? And keep you just to get them tithes from you.
Right.
Just to get that money from you. You know what I'm saying? And then when they didn't cater to your lust and they didn't destroyed you and you need them, they won't be nowhere. You'll be calling Israelite school of UPK.
Right. Because they tell you to come as you are.
Right.
So you go in as a homosexual and you leave that building a homosexual.
Right.
You go in a drug addict, you go out a bigger drug addict.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you come in these walls, you come in a drug addict and you come out a righteous man.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you come in here as a whore and you leave as a righteous woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A true Proverbs 31 woman.
Virtuous.
You know what I'm saying? Virtuous. You know what I'm saying? Give me Psalms 19:7. Like it's scriptures all over this Bible talking about perfection. You know what I'm saying? When Michael Jordan, he might miss three shots in the first half. You know what I'm saying? Second half, he come out, he missed no shots. That means he's perfect for the second half. You know what I'm saying? So you can the first half of your life you've been sinning. You know what I'm saying? You whether willfully or unwillfully or unknowingly. But once you find out the knowledge of this truth, man, the knowledge of these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you turn your life around, you can achieve perfection, man.
That's what it means to be perfect.
That's what it means to be perfect.
You understand?
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the souls. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
The law of the Lord is perfect. Everything he's given us, man, everything he's told us is perfect. It's perfect order. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the ruler, like he's the creator. You know what I'm saying? So everything he's telling you is for your good. Anything you do besides that is for your damnation. You know what I'm saying? And making the wise the simple. You know what I'm saying? Learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. It turns a simple man into a wise man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were all simple men at a time until we walked into these doors, man. And we became wise. You know what I'm saying? And now we're reaching out, trying to reach other simple ones and trying to fish them in so they can be wise. You know what I'm saying? Instead of foolish. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how you get to be wise, by knowing this law. You know what I'm saying? By keeping this law, because this law is perfect. It's foolproof. It's foolproof. If you follow it, that's like having the cheat codes to a game.
Right.
You understand? That's like having the exact cheat codes. You play by play what to do and what not to do, how to stay in line so that you won't have this death and destruction come upon you, and you won't have to go through all of this struggling and everything that Black, Hispanic, Native Indians face all day, every day.
Right.
In this empire. Why? Because they don't know the law, they don't keep the law, so they don't know what it means to be perfect.
Nah.
Yeah, and they don't know how perfect the Lord law is, and it will take a simple man, a fool.
Right.
If he could just listen for a moment and get in line and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, he will become the most wise. And they be like, where you learn that at?
Right.
Where you learn that stuff from? Man, you weren't talking like this 2 months ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 3 months ago.
Man.
And you know, you probably had that happen to you with some family members. Some family members probably come at you like that now.
With family members, co-workers. Man, since I done been in the truth, man, I talk to so many different people now, and I tell them, you know, my stance on some things, on everything, and they be like, man. But then later on, like I had a sister contact me yesterday, you know, and you know, we were co-workers, you know, we just chop it up about the Bible, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I was telling her, you know, about the law, statutes, and commandments, and you know what's gonna happen, you know, the signs of the times and everything. So she called me yesterday and was like, man, because I haven't, keep in mind, I haven't talked to her in over almost a year, probably about 8 months.
Right.
And she called me out the blue and was like, man, everything that we used to talk about at work, like it's coming to pass. I was like, I told you. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say nothing else. I couldn't sugarcoat. I like, well, I told you. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, not everybody soaks in everything at one time and at an instant. You know what I'm saying? It took us some time. So now, you know, hopefully she started watching class and start studying more and coming to this school. You know what I'm saying, and learn from righteous men.
Right, because she see how
you know
how perfect you are in spirit. Like,
right.
What, you know, like, man.
Right. Now we're gonna show y'all just a few men in the Bible that were labeled perfect or just. You know what I'm saying? Give me Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about, you know, the flood, but a lot of people don't know why they chose Noah. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, you know, all the people on the earth at that time, man, they was doing some wicked stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect
Go ahead.
In his generations.
All right, stop. It says Noah was just and a perfect man. You know what I'm saying? So he lived his life according to the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? He did everything the Most High told him to do versus the rest of the people that was on the earth at the time. And that's why the Most High chose him to recreate humanity.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
And if I may, sir,
go ahead.
And the law was there, you know, with Moses. I mean, Salakia, with Noah. It might have not been in, you know, written form, like, because that didn't happen until, you know, we went in captivity and Moses led us up out of captivity. Then it came down on scribes and, you know, book form and everything like that. But the law was in us. We knew during the time of Noah, you knew your do's and don'ts. It was something that was handed down from generation to generation. So in his generation, he was blameless. You know what I'm saying? He was blameless on everything. He literally was a man of the Lord. He walked with the Lord.
Right.
All the way to the ark. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. Give me 1 Kings 14 and 8. Yeah, we are like when we first started 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 8. You know, we already brought up Abram, you know, before he was called Abraham in Genesis 17, was when the Most High told him to be thou perfect. You know what I'm saying? 14. So now we got Noah, we got Abraham. Now we're going to get into somebody else that's prominent in the nation. Read.
What we at?
14 and 8.
14 and 8. This is 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 8. And rent the kingdom away from the house of David and gave it thee. And yet thou hast not seen as my servant David, who kept my commandments and who followed me with all his heart to do that only which was right in my eyes.
You know, David was perfect. Even though he sinned before. You know what I'm saying? When he killed the brother and took his wife. You know what I'm saying? But he repented and turned away from his sins, and he continued to live his life perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the analogy I gave you about Jordan. Jordan may miss five or 10 shots in the first half, and then come second half, he don't miss any shots. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Let me get Job 1:1. If anybody don't know the story of Job, like this has to be one of the realest cats in the Bible, man. Like he was like a soldier, like a true soldier. Like I can't explain it in any more words than that. Read that for me.
This is Job. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect.
He was what?
Perfect.
He was sometimey.
Perfect.
Wishy-washy.
Perfect.
Perfect. Go ahead.
And upright, and one that feared the Most High power and shewed evil.
That's a lot to say in one verse, man. Man, he was upright. The man had everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, if you have everything that you want, like most people get arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Well, what I need the Most High for? I got everything. I got my degrees. I got my money. I got my cars. I got my house. You know what I'm saying? What I need to pray for, thank the Lord for, man, my degree got this. You know what I'm saying? I work for this. I'm the one that was sitting in that class. I was the one staying up late night doing the homework and doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? But Job did not do that. You know what I'm saying? He paid his tithes. You know what I'm saying? He raised his family righteous. He did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Drop down to verse 6.
Now, this is Job chapter 1, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Right. So this is when the sons of God coming to get a report to the Most High, and Satan was with them. You know what I'm saying? You know Satan's job. Satan is excellent at doing his job. You know what I'm saying? He's the one to make sure to see if you fit for the Most High's blessings,
right,
or his salvation. You know what I'm saying? So keep reading.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said,
so like it dropped to 8.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man.
A perfect and upright man. One that feareth God and sheweth evil. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I say, you know, Satan's job is to try to see if he's worthy for the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's excellent at doing his job. You know what I'm saying? Now, go to 9.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doeth Job fear God for naught?
Go 10.
Verse 10. Has not thou made an hedge about him?
Right.
And
stop. So Job was so perfect to where the Most High had a hedge of protection around him. You know what I'm saying? Like Satan, if probably got with everybody down there on earth. You know what I'm saying? Like he done got in everybody's head and caused them to sin or turn away from God. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't. Like he probably even tried to go to Job, but he couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like he was blocked out. You know what I'm saying? So keep reading.
And about his house and about all that he hath on every side, thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
So, like I say, he did everything the Most High told him to do, and the Lord protected him. You know what I'm saying? The Lord protected his house, his family, his belongings, all his materials, his business. He protected everything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could mess with it. Not even Satan. You know what I'm saying? Like Satan, like he just go down and destroys people's minds, man. But he couldn't get to Job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So like you said, like it be a test. You know, Job, we got, you know, from just what we read, that Job was just, just in good standing with the Lord. Like he had that favor on him, you know what I'm saying? Not to sound too Christian or nothing, but he was in favor with the Lord, and the Lord did have that hedge of protection around him and his family and everything. So when Satan, just like out here in the world today, you know what I'm saying? You know, you wonder why we can move the way that we move and nothing happens to us. You know,
Right.
you hear about Christians all day long getting
Right.
slaughtered, murdered, slaughtered like lambs, if I should say. But you don't never hear about a brother or a sister in the UPK ever anything happening to them. You don't hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we have that hedge. But do we get tested? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And that's Satan's job. He I know I don't give him no glory, but he good at what he do.
Yeah.
That's his rank. That's what his mandate is to test you and try to deceive you and if necessary, kill you if necessary. And he's very good at what he do. So when this the perfect book right here to learn about tests and how to be perfect with the Lord in them. You know what I'm saying? When they happening to you, like when you going through something, don't automatically fold like a lawn chair. You know what I'm saying? Show some strength. You know what I'm saying? Show some resistance. You know what I'm saying? And you will see that test really ain't nothing. And then what comes after that test, it'll be even more greater than what it was you probably went through. You know what I'm saying? And this is real testing, because I'm not saying the Lord don't do this today, but when you read the book of Job, man, he ringer, boy. And Job never, not once, even when his wife came to him like, man, just curse God and die. He looked at her like, Shema, you know what I'm saying? Shut up.
Like, you tripping.
Yeah, for real. Like, I'm not trying to hit woman.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know.
Why get rid of him now? Like, he blessed me with all this, but when he take everything away, I supposed to, you know.
Correct.
Nah.
Correct.
Man, because Deuteronomy 28:1 said, if you keep all the commandments, the Most High will set thee on high, and he set Job on high. You know what I'm saying? And he will set us on high as a nation, man, and we will get back to following these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And it's no other way. Like, give me Matthew 1:19. Like, it's no other way. Like, all the marching that people are doing is good, but it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? People been marching since what, the 40s, the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Nothing worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, Martin Luther King marching didn't work. Malcolm X didn't work. The Black Panther Party didn't work. But they was all in good efforts and good intentions, but none of it worked because none of them promoted going back to the law, statutes, and commandments.
None
you know
of
what I'm
them,
saying?
None of them, to go even further, sir. So, like, if I may, none of them had the Bible. You know, I mean, not had the Bible, but none of them used the Bible.
Right.
You know, they thought they can do it through politicking and arming yourself and, you know, teaching God loves everybody. Let's just be one. And none of them had the Lord with them in the first place. You understand what I'm saying, sir? You know, like, you get where I'm coming from. None of them had the Lord with them in the first place. You know, so it was destined to fail. And in the time, you know what I'm saying, that's the most imperfect situation you want to be in, is when you got the white man in your business. You understand? Anything that the white man you have, and the white man has some type of involvement in it, is destined to fail. It's destined to crumble. And when you getting what you getting, you know, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, sir?
Yeah, read that. I'm just gonna read the first part because I just want to just express on just how it's more than just Christ that's a just or righteous person or perfect person.
1:19, right, sir?
Come.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 19. Then of her husband, being a just man.
A just man. He followed the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord chose his seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, chose him to conceive Christ, man. Like, I mean, I don't know how, you know what I'm saying, how righteous you got to be to do that, man. It's like, I'll read Luke 1. We're gonna I got a couple more.
Con, sir.
Luke chapter 1, verse 5. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abia, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron. You know, Aaron was with Moses, you know,
Right.
so she was a Levite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all ordinances of the Lord, blameless. You know what I'm saying? So Zacharias and his wife, they both was perfect.
Right.
They walked in all the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were set on high too. You know what I'm saying? You can't go through this life, man, without doing this, man, and think you're gonna get away with it.
And another
You know
thing,
what I'm saying?
that's how a sister be perfect. Just do what your husband tell you.
Right. But you
You
have
know
to
what I
have a
mean?
righteous husband, though.
Exactly. First
You
and
know what I'm saying?
foremost. First and foremost. And even if I may add, if he's not in the school or something, but I mean, of course, if it's gonna do anything to shame you, of course, don't do that. But
Right.
like, but in the world, women just have a hard time just following orders anyways. The
Right.
smallest to the greatest, it don't even matter. But you know what I'm saying? That for a woman, especially women, I think that women in this school, man, they go, so they don't really
Right.
have that problem. And it's more so for the women not in the school that's probably outside looking in. You want to be perfect, Lord eyes, just do as your head tell you.
Right.
And that'll gain you such favor. You know what I'm saying? To any other couple, anybody else out there, they won't understand it, but you will be perfect in the eyes of the Lord, and also keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments as well. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost, because if you listen to your husband, you are keeping the law.
Right.
So I just wanted to add that since we was speaking on Zachariah's wife.
Right.
You know,
Give me Psalms 119, verse 97. I'm gonna go to Acts chapter 10, verse 1, or verse 2.
119:47.
119, verse 97. Right. I'm starting at verse 1. This is Acts 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man, one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. You know what I'm saying? That's another perfect man, a devout man. He followed all the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, man.
And if I may, this man was in the Roman army.
In the Roman army.
He wasn't even in Jerusalem at this time. He wasn't even not in, but he wasn't even born in Jerusalem at this time. This is after the kingdom had split and everything, and we was already in captivity under the Romans during this time. But he was a centurion, meaning he was in that was his platoon. He was in a whole army. So
Right.
that's just like saying, fast forwarding it today, for them brothers and them, we got brothers right now in the military, ex-military, they in the military right now, and they keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and they in the school. You know what I'm saying? So, you can, it's really no excuse. It's really no excuse.
No
You can be
excuse.
perfect. You understand?
Read that Psalms 119.
This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 97. Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Keep
Man,
going, son.
no, you can start right there. I'm trying to get there with you right fast. It says, oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. So David is saying he loved the law. Like he think about the law. He meditate the law all day. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Thou, verse 98. Thou through thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me.
Man, follow these law, statutes, commands, make you wiser than these devils that we live up under right now, man. And making you wise enough to realize that celebrating Christmas and Easter and dressing your baby up like an Incredible or something on Halloween is not, of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to meditate in these scriptures. Like, you got to think about this all day and all night. It has to stay on your mind, because if it don't, you know what I'm saying, that gives Satan his window to infiltrate. You know what I'm saying? And if he infiltrate, you know what I'm saying, then you're definitely gonna turn away. But you have to, like you said earlier, man, you got to fight daily. You know what I'm saying? Even Paul says he fought daily. He
Right.
said he died every night, damn near.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Can I add something, sir?
Go
to
ahead.
this?
Go ahead.
And we are definitely behind enemy lines. We've been behind enemy lines for the last 500 years. You know what I'm saying? We live next door to our enemy. We work with our enemies. You know what I'm saying? They sign our checks and everything. The problem with
Right.
blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we ain't figured out who our enemy is yet.
Right.
We still thinking that, you know what I'm saying, we are each other's enemy, and we not. So when it come down to understanding this book and receiving the laws that was given in this book, it will make you wise. Like the scriptures say, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It will teach you how to move perfectly through this chaos. You know what I'm saying? That we call America today. You know what I'm saying? It will teach you how to conduct yourself and how to move. It'll teach you how to move and how to sustain yourself with all this chaos breaking out everywhere, every corner, every 360-degree turn. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you look is something going on. With these laws being in you and understanding them, you'll be able to move perfectly through it. Not to mention the Lord will be with you first and foremost, but you'll be able to move and guide through this hell that we going through right now, that's plaguing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today. So,
Right.
it's very vital that, especially in the time of war, and we are in a time of war, to understand what these laws mean and how perfect you can be in them if you would just do them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I got a precept, to backdoor that, man. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 5. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way,
Right.
but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness.
Right. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So when you righteous and perfect, man, like, it's gonna guide you in the right way that you're supposed to be. But like you say, if you live by the sword, you're gonna die by that sword. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna fall on it and kill yourself.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? But when following these laws, statutes, and commandments, you got a hedge of protection, just like Job had. You know what I'm saying? Job had a fortress of a hedge. Is, that's in my book, that's like a little hedge like this. But Job had a fortress of protection around him, man.
Right.
From him to his family to everything, man.
Right. And don't fret when the Lord just want to test you. Sometimes he just want to see what your merit is, and
Right.
I've learned that myself, honestly, the hard way. You know what I mean? But sitting here today, I could tell you, like, sometimes the Lord don't need a reason. He just, like he told who was that he told that to Officer Havanah, who was that he told that to gird up thy loins? Was that Elijah? No,
that was
who was that?
I think that was it Peter?
No, I think that was in the Old Testament. No sweat though, but there's a brother in the scriptures that he was about to kill his wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And then he just told him, man, gird up your loins, man. Suck it up.
Right.
Suck it up. And that's the way you move, you know what I'm saying, with this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the Lord would just want to test you. It ain't nothing you necessarily even did wrong. You might have been doing everything right, and he just want to just see what you about. Because Christians, we know for sure, they fold like lawn chairs. I mean, as soon as they go, they are holier than thou when everything is right. But as soon as everything that went wrong, it's, oh Lord, what's going on? Help me, please. And it's okay, because when you speak on it, when you claim to be all that, trust me, you better expect Satan to come the same way he came about Job. You know what I'm saying? He gonna
Right.
come, he gonna go before the Most High about you. You understand? And you just got to be able to stand.
Right. Give me Romans 7 and 15. But I'm gonna read Psalms chapter 34, verse 17.
Romans 7 and 15.
Come. This is Psalms chapter 34, verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of their troubles, all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be humble. You have to humble yourself, man. You gonna have to dumb yourself down and come off your high horse, man, and start learning these law, statutes, and commandments, man, to in order for you to receive the Lord's salvation. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it on your own. You know what I'm saying? What you're doing right now is not good enough. You know, I don't know if a lot of people don't know, but just following the law, statutes, commandments alone, that's just the bare minimum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you gonna be saved or please the Most High if you ain't doing that much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep reading. I'm at 18 now. No, 19, Salaki. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So, like when you start following the law, statute, commandments, like you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean you're not gonna be tested anymore.
Right.
You know, stuff ain't just gonna stop happening to you, but you're gonna have a better understanding. You're gonna know how to handle stuff then, and then the Lord is gonna be with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It be plenty of time. Like the Lord was with me today. I was stranded,
Right.
you know,
Right.
miles and miles away from here. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord saw fit and looked out for me today, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 20. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. So, man, like he protects you in anything that you do, man. None of your bones will break. You won't get sick. You know, this coronavirus going on right now, man. And I don't think nobody in the school just said that they had the symptoms or got tested for it and came back positive.
Meanwhile, the whole
You know what I'm
earth
saying?
scared.
Meanwhile, the whole earth scared. Like we sit up here right now with no mask on. You know what I'm saying? And it's and no, to be honest, it's a very serious thing that's going on, but we don't fear it. The Father we fear. You know what I'm saying? So like we're protected, man. Like we were standing out there with the protesters and stuff, man, and like just us being out there, man. A lot of people saw us out there, man, and our light was shining on them, man, and they knew that at that moment they was gonna be all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was some righteous brothers around. You know what I'm saying? Verse 21: Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. So the evil, like you gonna fall on your own sword. The evil shall slay the wicked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Verse 22: The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. So that means you're gonna be guilty if you don't trust in the Lord, man. Like if you don't do none of these law, statutes, commandments, man, at least do the bare minimum. And that's following the law, statutes, commandments. That's what we teach. Every brother, every class, every city teach the same thing, man. Following these law, statutes, and commandments. But a lot of people are too stiff necked to hear it and follow it and do it, man. But we telling y'all this is the truth. You know what I'm saying? This is what's gonna get us up out this hell.
And it ain't no better place to learn than in the Israelite school of UPK. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to learn how to do the law, the law is the first 5 books of the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They call it the Torah, of course. You know what I mean? But that's the first 5 books. You know, I mean, you can, like how I started for me, I just went through and seen the ones that I could do. And I when I first started learning this, I took a poster. I just got a big poster and I just started writing them down, just the ones that I knew that I can tackle and tack on right then and there. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it might have been basic, then it moved to the more heavier stuff. But just starting out, I just took on the small stuff with it first, learning how to do that and get stronger from there, you know. And if you want to learn how to do the law in its complete form, you got to come to the Israelite school, the UPK. You know what I'm saying? Under Commander General YAHANNA. That's the only place that I see anyone doing the law. And you know what I'm saying? This is the only place I actually see the law being executed. So, anything else, I just don't trust it. But the law is very doable, and a lot of people run from the law because they don't think they can do it. You know what I'm saying? They think that they are just that weak, or the law is just that hard to where it can't be done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it can. And Christ, that's why Christ said in the New Testament, think not that I came to destroy the law or the prophets,
right,
but to fulfill them. He came to show you, lead by example, and show you how to do it. And this is a flesh and blood man. It wasn't, that Christ had like just superpowers. The powers that he had, of course, came from the Most High.
Right.
And his faith that he had in the Lord allowed him to work nothing but miracles, even though it was prophesied it. You know what I'm saying? But you can have, and like he said, you can have that faith of a mustard seed and that much faith, and you will see what you will be able to do, how the Lord will be able to work in your life, man. But first you got to come and get in this body.
Right.
That's first and foremost. You ain't gonna be able to do it on your own. If you claim you could do it on your own, you're really just fooling yourself.
Right.
So like I said, that's all I had.
Oh man, you've been bringing out some heavy hitters like the whole time, brother. Yeah, give me that Romans 7 and start at 14.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
For we know that the law is spiritual, man. We got these laws, just not to tell us what to do and what we can't do. Like it's spirits behind it. Like it's reasons behind some of this stuff, man. And our flesh our flesh, wants to do what it want to do. You know what I'm saying? It battles against. It's like oil and water. Your flesh battles against your spirit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do.
Basically, what they're saying is like, you do what you try not to do, man. You know what I'm saying? But you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But the things that you don't do is what you what you need to do, man.
Right. What we need to do, we don't want to do it, and what we want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like getting in line. You know what I'm saying? Just even taking the initiative to come to class. You know what I'm saying? We'll fight so hard against that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to come to class, just to matter of fact, just to even be looking at a video online, studying. You know what I'm saying? We do everything but what the Lord want us to do. You know what I'm saying? And we do that with ease.
Right.
It's like it's all just saying.
Give me Matthew 26 and 41. Because man, what fighting this flesh, man, like it's like like we said, like you gotta fight your flesh every day. You know what I'm saying? And like once you fight your flesh and you defeat some of these spirits that's telling you to do wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the battle is not over. You know what I'm saying? If you stop smoking cigarettes or you stop smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? That day one of you not smoking, that's like one of the hardest days. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, not even the first day you stop smoking is probably not the easiest day. You're like, okay, I can do it. Day 3, that's when it's on. We finna see if you really gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to read Matthew chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through the city. He walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. So once you get rid of that unclean spirit, it's dwelling around. Like it, ain't find no rest because it was living in you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was going down in you. You know what I'm saying? Making you do this, making you do that. but now it's wandering around in dry places. You know what I'm saying? So he's thinking like, man, I need to get somewhere where I can, do my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna read verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from which I came out. And when he is come, he findeth empty, swept and garnished. So when that demon come back, like I say, that first day, like, oh yeah, I'm good. I can do this. I can stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto the wicked generation. So that unclean spirit that you got rid of that first day, now he done came back with 7 partners. That's more grimy than him. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get back in, they setting up tents, they setting up everything, and they finna destroy you. So now, from versus you smoking weed and cigarettes, now you smoking churn,
Right.
or now you smoking crack.
Right.
Like now you worse off than what you was at first.
Right.
First, it was just your breath stinking. Now your body hurting. Now your skin wrinkling up and falling. Like you losing the luster in your skin. Your skin not shining no more. You got bags around your eyes. Like you're losing weight like drastically. You know what I'm saying? Because those 7 demons those 7 spirits then came back and came in and set up shop and started to destroy you because you failed to continue to fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if I may, sir,
Go ahead.
like that's a dangerous situation to be in. I mean,
Right.
think about like, in the UPK, they ain't even scared tactics. They make sense though. Like we got this saying like, man, you scared to lead the truth because if lead the truth, man, you might become a homosexual or something like that. Now we're just saying that, and you might not, but it's more than one way to be on that type of weakness. You know what I mean? Right. But that's a real dangerous situation to be in, especially to be like Christ said it best. He said it'd be better if you didn't even know the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to be in a situation where you was, like you said, probably just getting high or doing this or doing that, and then you got your house clean and 7 more wicked demons than the first, they come back, see your house clean, and like that's you better be like real move with caution because that's death. You know what I'm saying? That they gonna come back trying to destroy you. You understand?
Go ahead, sir.
So like if I could, the 7 more plus the one that went and got him.
Right.
So it's
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't
Right.
forget about that one. He
Right.
got 2.
Right.
He go back and get 7 more.
Right.
Way more wickeder than him.
Right.
And you know what I'm
Good
saying?
night.
And you know what's so heavy about that is it's a constant battle. That's what they're saying.
Right.
It's like once you get yourself right, you fight them demons, you get yourself right, they'll come back. And you gotta be stronger. It's meaning so that's a testament of what I'm saying, how we should live and being in this truth. We're gonna constantly, them demons gonna constantly revisit and they're gonna be stronger than the last time.
Right.
So we gotta every time we gotta get strength. We gotta level up. You understand what I'm saying? And keep our strength. So I just
and if I had just imagine a sister or a brother, you know what I'm saying, that's not in the truth, but let's just say they came into a situation where they did like overcome some type of situation. When they overcome that situation, and then the moment they start doing good, if they don't be like helped afterwards, you get what I'm saying? Like help during that, whatever that problem was that they had that they got rid of in that moment. We in the truth. I could call you Officer Habanab, you know what I'm saying? I can call you Officer Ram if I got a problem. Right. I can battle that, but for someone out there that's not in the truth and they had a problem or issue, and for the moment it was okay, when them demons come back, that's hell. That they gonna try to kill this person.
Right.
And I've seen it. I'm not gonna. I was really kind of debating if I wanted to just go ahead and say it, but I knew a sister same way, and man, and I heard one of the strangest things. One of her cousins called me, and I was helping the sister and everything like that. We was you know, conversating and stuff like that, and all of a sudden she just went off the radar, just knowing what happened to her. And her cousin called me like a few days ago saying that her and her mother got into it, and she jumped out of the 2-story window.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So good night. Good night. You know what I'm saying? But that's how powerful that scripture is. You got to be able to have access to, you know what I'm saying, something that can help you fight through these situations that you are in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't do this walk by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And to think that you can, when them demons that was lifted off you, or that demon that was lifted off you, come back, it's over with.
Right. Man, that's why the brotherhood in the I.S.U.P.K is so intense, and it's so essential, man,
Right.
because you know what I'm saying, like brothers can see your spirit, man, and sometimes you got brothers in the school that can look at it and say, like, man, you look like you trying to slip. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to go back to the dark side. You know what I'm saying? They'll lift you up, man, and they'll keep you by their side, man, and help you, encourage you, and help you fight those things, man. Give me the Matthew 26:41.
This is Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Man, that's like self-explanatory right there, man. The spirit is willing, man. Like the spirit wants to stop smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? The spirit wants to stop to not be a homosexual. But man, that flesh is a greedy bastard. You know what I'm saying? That flesh kills you. You know what I'm saying? Like that flesh, like it's like oil and water, like I say. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta fight every day. Like everybody has to fight every day. You know what I'm saying? Like we fight every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
I'm right.
that the flesh is so weak to where like it'll allow those 7 demons to back, 8 demons back in, or
Right.
spirits back in, and destroy you and kill you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got 2 more scriptures. We're gonna wrap this up.
That's it.
I'm gonna read 2 Corinthians chapter 10. You can get the 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. I think I already got it on the page. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna read this first. I'm gonna start at 2 Corinthians chapter 10. I'm gonna just start at 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. You know what I'm saying? That's saying, we walk in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? We walk, we got a body, but we don't war after the flesh. Like we don't try to, like we don't try to. So I can't get the words out right now because it's so heavy. But like we don't war after the flesh, meaning like we don't succumb to the flesh. Like, you know what I'm saying? We not gonna even fight with it. You know what I'm saying? To where we gonna lose to it.
Right. Kind of a concept.
You know what I'm saying?
If I may, like that's like, that's like what Paul said. We wrestle not with flesh and blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not our warfare. Our warfare is of a spiritual nature. So
right.
We don't war after the flesh that way. You know what I mean,
right.
sir?
Right.
It's like it.
Yeah. So we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we understand that the war is spiritual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm gonna keep reading. It says, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal,
right,
but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we battle with the spirit, man, because like we said, the laws are spiritual, man, and pleasing the Most High is gonna be spiritual, man. So we have to follow these laws, statutes, commandments, man.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
That's why we get caught up in a lot of stuff. That's why we get hit upside our head with a lot of stuff. That's why when things happen to us, we never saw it coming, because we've been looking at things through a carnal nature, through the natural. We think that, oh, this person who offended me, or I mean whatever the situation may be, that's got you all discombobulated at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like in a carnal, yeah, you might think it's that person, or it's that situation, or it's the job, or whatever you want to put a label to it on. But really, at the end of the day, it'd be that it's a spiritual nature. It's that demon that's attacking you, and you can't even see it coming, because you are of a carnal mind. You think of things here on this plane, when you should be thinking of things on a in a heavenly realm, you know. And if you can maintain yourself, or learn how to deal in the spirit, you know what I'm saying, which you can be taught that here in the school, Israelite school of UPK, you know, you'll start seeing things coming like before it even get there. You'll start seeing it before it comes. Right. And by the time it get there, you already know how to handle it, or you done already prepared yourself for the warfare, you know, that's gonna come with it, or whatever, you know. But that's the problem, you know. A lot of people go through a lot of things and don't understand why, because they looking at it from a natural standpoint. So like it, sir. All right, now you're good. Go ahead and read that for me. This is the last scripture, then we're gonna wrap this up. 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. 58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. Let me see that. Is that right there? Come on, that's it. It says, if he be overcome, he shall suffer thou that hast said. So if you be overcome by these evil spirits, man, these unclean spirits, like you will be destroyed. That's what it's saying. You know what I'm saying? But if you fight and you get that victory, you get all those promises that the Lord has given us, man. He will set thee on high. You know what I'm saying? Like we will run this nation, and Christ will come back and reign on the earth. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's why we stressed, Father, you know, being perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? For Christ to come back. Christ is not gonna come back in a blemished nation. You know what I'm saying? We have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way he's gonna come back and his reign starts. You know what I'm saying? You got anything else to say, sir? Sir. With that, this is the Israelite School, Universal and Practical Knowledge. I'm Precinct Officer Rum. This is Precinct Officer Mahagabar. This is the Thursday class, and we're going to get out of here, man. Shalom. Shalom.